Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be creating a Pocket Pages project for our holiday planners. And I've got some pens and pencils here ready to go, as well as a few punches I may use, this label sheet of white paper, this cardstock pack that I got last year, this glitter snowflakes that I may use, these sticker books that I may pull from, as well as this sticker book which I might pull from, and some washi tape that I have there in the corner I forgot to introduce. Anyway, so we're going to get started by pulling out a few of these cardstock papers that I've had in my stash for a while. This sheet just happens to have these circles with different patterns from the same pack, so I thought it'd be perfect for me to punch out the circles here for use on these cards. The circle punch that I have there is just over an inch. I think it's like 1.25 inches size, so it works really nice for this project. It gives you plenty of room still on the 2x2 square. However, it gives a little bit of punch of a different color, which you're going to see. So I'm just punching out the ones with the color scheme I'm going to be using. I won't be using any of the blue, and then the white will conflict with what I'm going to do, so I'm just sticking with the red and the green circles for now and punching those out in the different patterns. There's a lot more of the green on this sheet than there is the red, so I will punch out a couple more red from here, and then I will need to go into that paper stack and find a few more red patterns to pull in. Like I said, I've had this stack, I think I said for a year. It's probably been longer than a year. It's probably been more like 3 years now that I think about it. I got it for making Christmas cards a few years back, so I'm not sure it's still going to be available, this pack in particular. I think you can get away with pretty much any holiday paper pack. Just make it your own. So I'm going to go ahead and get a red punch out of that one cardstock piece, and then probably out of here. I'm cutting into it so that I can reuse it for cards or something else in the future and not really mess up the entire page. So that's why I was kind of cutting into it, where I thought that I might be able to trim it properly with the cardstock later down the road. So I pulled out my guillotine cutter, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut up this cardstock leftover I had from another project I had done. I'm going to go ahead and cut it up. The paper pack is a 12x12, so I had cut it into 2 strips of 2 and realized I didn't need all of that, so I'm just going to do my 12 squares just using that cardstock background. So I just wanted to do a quick check, make sure that the squares fit properly, and they do. So what I'm going to do is use my Tombow glue runner to stick down those circles onto the top of the squares. And then I'm going to try a sample one here and see how I want it all to come together. So I just used my snowflake punch to punch out of the label sheet paper. Just one snowflake, see how I liked that. And I did the label paper so I wouldn't have to worry about gluing it down. It's already sticky on the back. So you're going to see just me figure out how I want these to look on the front, and I think I like that look there with the circle sticker from Mambi using the numbers, and then my circle punch with the different patterns on top of the black and that little snowflake accent. I'm just going to keep building these out right now using, like I said, those numbers from the Mambi Sticks pack, which again is something that I've had in my stash for a long time, so I'm not sure if it's still available. But I think any kind of like circled number will look really nice here. So just look in your stash, see what you have, or even just a number in itself, like something that's like on a paper sticker so it's not see-through, will probably work really nice here on top of these circles. So I'm going to alternate the colors and the patterns the best I can, and so I'm just kind of mapping it out as I go, placing it on the sheet where I think the specific patterns will lay out. I guess I haven't really discussed what this is that I'm making yet. Basically, I thought it would be fun to do a advent calendar of sorts with 12 days of acts of kindness for the holiday season. So just to get me thinking again about being kind to others, kind of the spirit of the season, gratitude, all that good stuff, and things that I could do just on a daily basis to show kindness to others. So I'm building that out, and I thought that styling this just to be fun and colorful and holiday will help me focus in on it more as I open up my planner and work towards it. So I'm almost done here, just laying in the numbers. Okay, that looks really good. So now I just need to put in those snowflakes that I decided I wanted to do. I've put that first snowflake in, and I wanted to see if this snowflake glitter I got from Target a few years ago would work as well, but I didn't like it as much, so we'll just put that to the side and work with the snowflake punch. Just going to go ahead and punch through this label paper and get that going. One thing that was kind of interesting, that if you guys are crafting for the holidays and use a snowflake punch like this, especially on this label paper, you kind of get a 2-for-1 because you get the sticky side, and then usually the label itself is white, and so you could reuse that on cards or as confetti. I think that would be really cute and a nice way to reuse some scraps just from crafting. So it takes me a little bit to peel each one of these, but I think it's worth it in the end. It just adds a little extra pizzazz to each of these cards and gives the front a little bit more of a pop, I think. It's really fun to make these pocket pages. I've got a pocket pages for my faith planner, which I did with some verses, which I really love. And I've done one for my health planner as well. I did that one before I started my YouTube channel, but I really love it. I think it came out super cute. They're super easy, like I said. You just need 2-inch squares and some imagination, and you can pretty much create whatever you want. And okay, I've gotten all of the cards down, so what I'm going to do is flip over the cards so they're going in the same spot, and we'll start planning out what the back is going to look like. So I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I actually ended up pulling out my Colorful Boxes monthly size sticker book because I realized I really needed some repeating boxes in specific colors like red and green, and I wanted to make sure I had enough at my disposal. So we're going to go ahead and use that sticker book instead of the ones that I pulled for some boxes. And I'm just going to do a little sample here again just to see how these might look. So I've layered some washi tape on the bottom for some pattern, and then have put down a colorful box on top, which is where I will put the completion date as I go through. I also pulled out my winter sticker book, the oldest one, and remembered I had some leaves in there, so I thought that would be a good repeating object throughout this as well, just for that cohesive feel for all of these different things. Finally, I will be hand lettering in each of the kindness acts that I hope to accomplish this holiday season. So I'm using my Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip pen for that. And I'm doing my best just to make it nice and clean with my brush tip lettering. It starts out a little bit better and it gets a little worse as we go, but overall I think it turns out pretty good, which you'll see. So I've decided to vary the washi tapes that I use here as well, just for some fun and variety of color. And I'm going to use these red and green washi's I actually got with a wrapping paper roll maybe 2 years ago for Christmas, and it's really great. It's the perfect color scheme, so it was really nice to have that in my stash. think lastly what I'll do is add in some black dot washi tape as well, just for a third color, so that I can mix and match the colors all the way around and tie in the black on the front. So since I've got an idea of how each one of these is going to go, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly layer up all of the cards with the washi first, and then I'll go back through and do the box stickers, the lettering, and finally the leaves. So I'll just quickly run through this. This goes by pretty quickly. I am alternating the color scheme, like I said, from red to green to black as I go up and across the page, kind of in a diagonal pattern, as you'll see when it's all finished. And that just helps create that variety that I was looking for. And I'm just aligning that washi tape right up to the bottom and trimming it out. I've layered the same colored box on each of the washi, so the black washi will get the red will get the green, and the green will get the black. And like I said, I'll be using that box for putting in the date of completion. So by the end of the season, I hope to have a nice completed calendar of kindness to others. So I did a kindness challenge last year in my faith planner, which is where I got a majority of these ideas from to do. And I thought that that would be a good source of kindness activities. I will try to find that same link and also include it in the description below if you want some ideas for acts of kindness that you can make your own from. I've just penciled them in, the ones that I decided to do here, and am now lettering them in. This takes a little bit, obviously, and like I said, my handwriting gets a little bit sloppier the more I do, but overall the effect I think is really nice. So the ideas that I chose for this act of kindness calendar are: pick up litter, buy a coffee for someone, leave a 100% tip, thank a civil servant, let someone go ahead of you, tidy up a space in a store, share or support a small business, give your time to help someone, reach out to a distant friend, assist an elder, donate items to those in need, and compliment a stranger. I think those are all very doable this holiday season and will get me out of my comfort zone a little bit, which is nice, and get me thinking more about serving others. And okay, now we're just going to go ahead and drop in those leaves I mentioned. And I'm just going to put them in wherever I feel like, flipping them, putting them in different corners, doubling it up sometimes, adding some variety, but again, the consistency of similar items will help tie everything together. And I'm just trimming them off when they hang off the side of the square. I think the more you can add to it, the more fun it will be to look at and the more you'll enjoy it. So that's the way I kind of feel about it. Layering things up, adding pattern, adding color, and that really helps me get more interested in whatever the thing is that I'm looking at. So I'm going to clean up some of my lettering that wasn't perfect and then drop these guys into the pocket pages for a final look. Now, what I realized was when I did this, that it was actually on the front. And so I had put them all in and I was like, yay, looks great. And then realized, oh, wait, it's the wrong way. I should have flipped them over when I put them down. So you're going to see me complete this and then I have to flip them. And I was like, oh, wait, yeah. So I'm going to flip them back over and show you guys a final look. But once I am done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!